devastation comes to California.
Saying the heat is so unbearable the last few weeks, it's impacting everything from people to street signs.
The nation is running wild. Climate change, faulty power lines, deliberate arson, mismanagement of resources, anything and everything is being blamed. But one theory is gaining more traction than the rest. ChatGPT caused the wildfires.
Look, I don't know if the fires in California were intentional, accidental, or preventable. I don't know that, but some of the numbers just don't add up. 80,000 acres, 24 death toll as of right now, $250 billion of damage.
The United States of America is on the brink of potentially the most expensive catastrophe in the history of the nation. This comes out of the ravaging wildfires that are consuming states after another. From wrath of God attributed to Hollywood godless culture.
Speeches have been on fire. Who got shouted out the most? Let's look at the numbers. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1. All right. No surprise in this godless town.
To some government attack on its own people. Theories are making headlines regarding the fire that seemed to quench not so soon. The country is among those who have been battling wildfires, just like Australia. California, however, is suffering the most, with many blaming Governor Newsom for misplaced priorities with the state resources.
And your heart breaks for the people of California, but they are paying a terrible price for the incompetent left-wing leaders that they've elected. You got Mayor Bass, as you said, who cut $17 million from the firefighting budget in order to divert it to pay for the homeless crisis that she helped unleash. You've got Governor Gavin Newsom, who into banning gas-powered cars in California so he can fight global warming rather than filling the reservoirs and clearing the brush to fight the fires that he blames on global warming. His job as governor of California is not to stop global warming, it's to mitigate its effects, to make sure that the water is flowing into the fire hydrants and not being diverted into the Pacific Ocean to save an endangered fish.
Is the issue of smart cities at play here? Who is burning America? The most interesting theory of all is the issue of targeted attack by the use of The idea of using energy as a weapon is not new. Legend has it that as far back as 3rd century BC, the Greek mathematician Archimedes devised a way to use mirrors to concentrate sunlight and set fire to Roman ships besieging Syracuse. This legendary heat ray may be one of the earliest conceptualization of a directed energy weapon. Today, the concept of directed energy weapons, or DEWs, has moved far beyond legend. New systems using focused energy instead of projectiles are emerging, raising both hopes and fear for the future of warfare. But these technologies have also become the subject of intense speculation and misinformation, often linked to natural disasters. In this documentary, we will explore the reality of directed energy weapons. What are they? What can they do? And crucially, what they cannot do. We will separate facts from fiction, debunking or verifying the conspiracy theories, and examining the real implications of this evolving technology. Directed energy weapons, or DEWs, use concentrated electromagnetic energy or atomic particles to damage a target. This energy can take form of lasers, which use intense light, microwaves, which use electromagnetic radiation, or particle beams, which accelerate subatomic particles. Unlike traditional weapons that fire projectiles, DUs deliver energy at the speed of light, potentially offering greater precision and speed. The potential military application of DUs are significant. They could be used for defense against ballistic missiles, to counter swarms of drones, or to disable enemy vehicles and communication systems. The key advantages are speed, precision, and potential for reduced collateral damage compared to the conventional weapons. However, DUs are not without limitations. They require significant power, can be affected by weather conditions, and face challenges targeting certain types of materials.
Water does absorb microwave energy, even though this is a long wavelength and it penetrates deeply into a wet medium. If we take a couple of wet towels, a thickness of moist towels that I just soaked in the sink, and we put this in front, we're going to see if it affects the ability of this to drive the microwave, to drive the fluorescent tube. Now remember, when I hold this in front, it fluoresces. And as I move this away from the source, you can see that it works out to about, almost 2 meters here. It's pretty far. But if I place the water barrier in front, like this, no fluorescence.
In the aftermath of devastating wildfires such as those have ravaged parts of the United States and Australia in recent years, a trend has emerged: the spread of misinformation linking these natural disasters to directed energy weapons. These claims often exploit public fear and confusion, latching onto specific details and twisting them into supposed evidence of a hidden attack. Are they really conspiracy theories? Or is there any truth to these conspiracies? One particularly persistent claim is the blue roof theory.
And by the way,
$1 million acre fire in my district.
and by the way, if you notice you fly over in the helicopter, those places with good roofs, they didn't burn. Those places with good roofs, they didn't burn.
That are burned to the ground, you'll see in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because it had the right roof on it.
This theory suggests that structures with blue roofs were somehow immune to the effects of DUs, implying that these weapons selectively target other colors.
Colors: red, pink, blue, orange, yellow, and white. Set and go. Whoa. Now you may notice there are some survivors here. The blue one isn't popping very easily, is it?
According to Donald Trump, there is more the government could have done to prevent these unprecedented events.
Low down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that have fallen
Yeah.
that are.
The development of any new weapons technology, especially one as potentially disruptive as DEWs, raises serious ethical and legal questions. How do we ensure these weapons are used responsibly? What are the rules of engagement? How do we prevent arms race? The spread of conspiracy theories surrounding DEWs further complicates these crucial discussions. It creates a climate of fear and distrust, making it harder to have a rational and informed debate about the responsible development and use of these technologies. In most cases, the government of the United States has admitted to trying and using these weapons.
The Department of Defense spends about $1 billion annually developing directed energy weapons, such as high-energy lasers and high-powered microwaves. These weapons can disrupt or destroy their targets at the speed of light. For example, DoD has developed high-energy lasers that have successfully shot down drones, but speed isn't their only advantage. They're also less expensive per use than traditional weapons like guns and missiles.
Directed energy weapons represent a significant technological advancement with the potential for both beneficial and harmful application. It is crucial to approach this technology with clear understanding of the facts, separating legitimate concern from unfounded conspiracy theories. By relying on science, critical thinking, and open dialogue, we can navigate the complex challenges and opportunities presented by DEWs and work towards a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around. We live in an era where misinformation, distrust, and governments giving citizens even more reasons not to trust them.
And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. reacting today to President Trump's order to declassify documents related to the JFK and Robert F. Kennedy assassinations. Kennedy is the son of the late Senator Robert F. Kennedy and a Trump cabinet nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services. He has said in the past that there is evidence that the CIA was involved in his uncle's death.
The coincidences concerning these wildfires in the United States come at a very strategic time where the housing insurances have been cancelled off for most people. There is water crisis in California.
A reservoir that fits 117 million gallons of water that's been shut down for a year because the cover had a hole in it and they didn't want to fill it up, and nobody knew about this apparently, and you only had 3 tanks that each fits 1 million gallons.
So, who is fooling who? Is it really an intended attack, or are these claims unfounded?
Look, I don't know if the fires in California were intentional, accidental, or preventable. I don't know that, but some of the numbers just don't add up.